Hello po sa inyong lahat. This is Attorney Ann, CPA and CTT. By the way, I make videos relating to Philippine laws, most especially tax laws. And my goal for these videos is to make the law clear in our minds at ma-serve na rin siya as guide for taxpayers, students, accounting students, or law students, or even business professionals. Hope this video will serve as your guide para mas ma maka-decide kayo kung ano yung best na tax rate na gagawin nyo or nagagamitin nyo for your business. By the way, I'm actually Bisaya, so I have a hard time speaking Tagalog, but I will conduct this lecture in English and Tagalog para mas maraming makarelate. So, but just bear with my Tagalog. All right, let's continue. So in this video, I will be discussing the basic difference between the 8% income tax option and the 3% percentage tax. Now, I've seen a lot of queries, maraming mga nagtatanong no, kung ano ba yung mas better na gamitin for their business. Is it 8% or is it 3%? So, in this video, we will find out kung ano yung effect if 8% yung gagamitin at ano din naman yung effect if 3% ang gagamitin. Okay. So, before we move on to the computation aspect, let us discuss first very briefly, no, saglit lang. We will discuss the legal basis of this, what we call 8% tax or in 8% income tax option. Prior to 2018, hindi pa nag-i-exist si 8% income tax option kasi etong 8% na income tax option is brought about by our train law. So if you can recall, 'di ba, meron tayong train law and the effectivity started in 2018, and that is why um prior to 2018, before 2018, wala pang ganito na 8% income tax option. So it's relatively new. Kasi 2018 pa lang siya nasa-start, and that's why that could be the reason why marami pa rin yung confused relating to this kind of the income tax option. Okay? So yung legal basis natin dito is Section 24, Paragraph A, Item 2B of the Tax Code as amended. Okay? So let's look at the provision itself para makita talaga natin. No? Ito yung snapshot of Section 24A 2B of the tax code. So tingnan lang natin ha. So huwag kayong matakot pag nagbabasa ng mga ganito na tax provisions. Okay. So rate of tax on income of purely self-employed individuals and or professionals whose gross sales or gross receipts and other non-operating income does not exceed the VAT threshold as provided in Section 109 BB of the tax code. So from this mini title, no, dito kasi nakalagay, this is for purely self-employed individuals and or professionals. All right. So meaning to say, hindi siya applicable sa mga corporations. Okay, kasi merong nagtanong sa akin before na, attorney, I have a new corporation. Would you advise me to use 8%? And I told the client na in the first place, yung 8% na tax option is not available to a corporation. So we can see here, no, we have purely self-employed individuals and professionals. But however, meron pa tong karugtong na item letter C, which is for mixed income earners. Meaning to say, when you say mixed income, may trabaho ka as an employee and at the same time, meron ka ring business. So you have income from business and you also have income from your employment, your compensation. But in this video, I will only discuss this one, no, for purely self-employed individuals and professionals muna para hindi magulo yung discussion natin. So I might make a new separate video that will discuss yung scenarios for mixed income earners. But for now, focus muna tayo sa purely self-employed individuals and or professionals. So, 'di ba? Very clear naman talaga sa provision ng law, no? Ito, for purely self-employed individuals and or professionals. plus, kailangan yung gross sales or gross receipts ninyo together with your non-operating income, hindi daw mag-exceed sa VAT threshold. Okay, later we will find out magkano ba yung VAT threshold. Okay, let's read the entire provision first. Self-employed individuals and or professionals shall have the option to avail of an 8% tax. So ito ha, optional lang siya. Meaning to say, hindi siya mandatory, hindi automatic na if self-employed ka or professional ka, automatic na 8%. No, hindi siya automatic kasi daw option lang siya, optional lang siya. Shall have the option to avail of an 8% tax on. So ano yung basis, ano yung amount na i-multiply natin sa 8%? So it's the gross sales or gross receipts. So anong pinagkaiba ng gross sales and gross receipts, by the way? So when you say gross sales, this pertains to your this pertains to businesses that are engaged in the sale of tangible goods, meaning may makikita ka talaga na product. For example, sari-sari store, 'di ba? May mga product siya, may makikita ka na product na sinesell nila. So tawag natin diyan gross sales. However, there are also businesses, 'di ba, na wala silang product but instead of offering a product, they are offering services. Like for example, yung mga salon or spa, mga clinic. Okay, so walang product, pero may service. So tawag natin dyan, gross receipts. All right. So on gross sales or gross receipts plus no, other non-operating income in excess of 250,000 pesos. So meaning to say, meron tayo dito in excess of 250,000, meaning yung excess lang ng 250 ang taxable. Okay? So yung first 250,000 ng gross sales or gross receipts nyo is free from tax. Wala siyang tax. It's tax-free because the 8% will be multiplied in to the amount in excess of 250,000 pesos. And sabi dito, this is in lieu of the graduated income tax rates under subsection A2A of this section and the percentage tax under section 116 of this code. So meaning to say, if you choose this option, because again, this one is optional, right? So if you choose the 8% income tax option, this is already in lieu of two things. Meaning to say, hindi mo na kailangan compute yung dalawang bagay. So, meaning, wala nang graduated income tax rates and wala na ring percentage tax. So, two things ang mawawala. Yung graduated income tax rates and yung percentage tax. If you choose this option. Okay. So, what do we mean by graduated income tax? Ni-graduate ang income tax. Anyway, so when we say graduated, this actually refers to your income tax table, okay, na may mga bracket. Okay. So, tingnan natin. So, this is what we refer to as the graduated rates. Okay. So, if you notice, the first 250,000 is still tax-free. No, not over 250,000. This is annual amounts ha. So, zero. Then, ito naman, over 250,000 but not over 400,000. Ang tax rate is 15% in excess of 250,000. So, all in all, this is what we refer to as the graduated tax rates. Okay? So, let's go back. So, ito yon in lieu of the graduated income tax rates. Now, if you notice, sabi din kasi dito, di ba, does not exceed the VAT threshold. So, ano bang ibig sabihin ng does not exceed the VAT threshold? Magkano ba yung VAT threshold? So, under our tax code, ang VAT threshold natin is 3 million. Meaning to say, your gross sales or gross receipts para available pa rin yung option na 8%, kailangan yung gross sales or gross receipts mo will not exceed 3 million. Kasi 3 million ang VAT threshold natin. So what happens if your gross sales or gross receipts lagpas ng 3 million. So if lagpas ng 3 million yung gross sales or gross receipts mo for that year, then hindi mo na pwedeng i-choose yung 8% income tax option. So mawawala na yung option to choose that. Okay? So kailangan yung gross sales or gross receipts mo do not exceed 3 million. Maximum of 3 million only. So again, as a general rule, no, if you will not choose the 8% income tax option, again, meron kang percentage tax and meron ka ring income tax. Dalawa yung kailangan mong i-compute. So yung percentage tax na 3%, which will then be supported by filing your BAR Form 2551Q every quarter. And plus, you are liable to pay income tax based on the graduated rates. Again, if hindi mo i-choose yung 8%, okay? Kailangan kasi expressly chosen yung 8% kasi if hindi mo siya i-choose, then you have to pay for the percentage tax ng 3%. At the same time, you have to pay income tax based on the graduated rates that I presented a while ago. But ang good thing lang nito is you can claim your expenses. So if you have a business, obviously you have expenses, no? So if you have expenses, you can claim those expenses in your income tax return if you do not choose the 8% income tax option. So in that case, you have to file two forms, right? So 2551Q for percentage tax and also 1701Q quarterly for your income tax. Again, expenses can be claimed. However, if you choose the 8% income tax option, let's go back para clear siya sa mind natin. So if you choose this one daw, wala na yung graduated income tax rate and wala na rin yung percentage tax. So if you choose this option, if you signify your choice to use the 8% income tax, you can no longer claim your expenses. So no matter how much ang expenses mo for that certain quarter, for that certain year, if you choose the 8% income tax option, then you cannot anymore claim expenses. Okay? So yung effect niya, hindi ka na liable to pay the 3% income tax, hindi ka na rin subject to the graduated rates, at hindi ka na rin pwede mag-claim ng expenses. Okay? So, ang effect lang is you still have to pay income tax pero hindi na siya based on the graduated rates. It will now become your computation for your income tax will now be your gross sales or gross receipts plus your other non-operating income and then minus 250,000, then multiply it by 8%. And that's it. Okay? All right. So para mas clear siya sa minds natin, let's have a basic example in a few minutes. So again, if you choose the 8% option, no more percentage tax, we'll use your 8% tax rate instead of this graduated tax rates. You will use a straight fixed 8% instead of the tax table. You cannot claim expenses and then you only need to file your 1701Q. But if you use EBIR forms, make sure na mayroon siyang nakarugtong na version 2018 because this is the version na may 8% kasi 'di ba? I've told you a while ago na 2018 is when the train law took effect. So choose 1701Q version 2018. So this is a sample, no, snapshot of the 1701Q, which is version 2018. If you scroll down to number 16 of that form, you can see here tax rate. Choose one daw. Choose one daw, okay? So will you choose the graduated rates or will you choose the 8%? So if you choose the 8%, just simply tick this circle, no? Click mo lang yan and then that's it. That means if you click this, it means that you are choosing the 8% income tax option. Okay? Okay. So let's have an example first. So let's say hindi tayo nag-signify ng intention to use the 8% income tax. So we have these figures. Let's say your gross sales, this is already for the year, okay? In gross sales natin for the year is 500,000, while yung expenses natin is 180,000. So this is our first scenario. Yung first scenario natin is we will not choose the 8% option. So in that case, again, if we will not choose the 8% income tax option, then we'll have to pay two things. We'll have to pay for percentage tax and we have to pay for income tax. Okay. So again, percentage tax is 3%. All right. 3% based on what? Based on gross sales. So if you have a calculator, okay. So that's 500,000. Okay, get your calculators para mas mag-gets nyo yung computation. So you can pause the video kung wala kayong calculator na dala. Pause mo na yung video and then resume na lang kung ready na yung calculators nyo. Okay, so let's compute first for the percentage tax. Again, percentage tax is 3% of gross sales or gross receipts. In this case, gross sales yung meron tayo. So that's 500,000 times 3%. So yung percentage tax natin na babayaran for this is 15,000. So we will have to pay the 15,000. Next, we also have to pay for the income tax. So how do we compute the income tax? Since we will not choose the 8% muna, income tax is computed based on the graduated rates, right? But the basis for that is the net taxable income, because I've mentioned a while ago, we can claim expenses, right? If you will not choose the 8% option, yung expenses nyo can be claimed, no, can be deducted from your sales. So in this case, meron tayong 180,000 na expenses. So deduct natin muna yan from our gross sales. So in your calculator, just type 500,000 minus the 180,000 na expenses. So yung taxable income natin is 320,000. All right, let's compute our income tax using our tax table. So again, as we have computed, meron tayong 320, right, na taxable income. So saan siya na belong na bracket? Saan siya mabebelong na bracket? Here. Okay, it belongs to this bracket. Kasi 320,000 siya, that means it's not over 400,000. So in that case, since nabelong siya dito na bracket, yung tax rate niya is 15% of the excess over 250,000. So meaning to say, before we multiply it by 15%, i-deduct muna natin yung 250,000. So in your calculators, meron tayo dyan 320, right? So 320,000 minus 250,000. Okay, that is 70,000. And then multiply it by 15%. So therefore, we have to pay income tax in the amount of 10,500. Okay? So to recap, we have to pay percentage tax of 15,000 and we also have to pay income tax of 10,500. So magkano na yung total na tax na kailangan natin bayaran? So just add the two. Yung total tax na babayaran natin is 25,500. Okay. So this is our first scenario, no? This is when we will not choose the 8% income tax option. Okay, so again, if we choose the 8% income tax option, everything will be taxed at 8%, but we have the first 250,000 na exempt. So kasi sabi in excess of 250,000. Okay. So sa first scenario natin, 'di ba, we paid for percentage tax. This time, wala ng percentage tax. From the first scenario, wala ng percentage tax. Because if we will choose the 8%, that is in lieu of, okay, balik dito. It is in lieu of the percentage tax. So no more percentage tax for us. But we still have income tax again. But in computing income tax, we will not anymore use the graduated table, tax rates using the tax table, but rather that is we will use 8%. Okay, 8% in excess of 250,000. Now, ito naman yung mga expenses, we cannot claim this one anymore. So, how can we compute now the income tax using the 8% income tax option? So, we will ignore the expenses. We will use the gross sales as our basis. So, 500,000 minus the fixed 250,000 na exempt. So, that's 250,000, right? And then multiply it by 8%. So, we only have to pay 20,000, right? As compared to our previous example, yung total na bayaran natin is 25,500. Whereas if we choose the 8% income tax option, we only have to pay 20,000. So in this case, mas advantageous sa atin na piliin na lang natin yung 8% income tax option kasi mas advantageous siya. But disclaimer, there is no hard and fast rule na sasabihin natin na always advantageous ang 8%. No. So, ang best na gawin nyo is to compute both. Okay, compute both and then check kung saan ka makaka-save ng tax and choose that option. Okay, whether it's the regular or the general rule or you will choose the option na 8%. Depends on the circumstances. But in this example, it just so happened na mas advantageous yung 8% income tax option kasi mas mababa yung tax na babayaran natin. All right. So thank you everyone for watching. And if you have any questions, you can type your questions as comments sa video. And if you find this video also very helpful, you can share it to other to your friends no na you feel nga na kailangan din matuto sa 8% and 3% na tax rates. All right. Bye everyone.